The battle in court between the FBI and Apple over unlocking the iPhone of one of the San Bernardino shooters has just ended. Now, if the FBI really has found a backdoor into iPhones, this is a scary thought for the millions of smartphone users all over the world. But for such a widespread problem, there are a few who wouldn't be affected at all: those without smartphones. Now, trying to find someone without a smartphone on campus wasn't easy. These people are sort of rare and odd in our high-tech, modern 2016. But luckily, I found someone right here at Viking Fusion.
It's been part of my family. Like, we've never been, okay, we're gonna get the latest of everything. Especially my dad, he's very anti getting sucked into your phones. Like, there's never a phone at the dinner. So we just haven't had that culture growing up. And now it's more of an economic kind of thing. It's really expensive to have a smartphone.
But there are some downsides to not having the handy features that come with an iPhone.
Different trips where it's like, if I didn't have a friend with a smartphone, we would have been in the middle of the country by ourselves. What's gonna happen? But because they had like a GPS, or they could call, or they had like their charger hooked to their car or whatever. For me, it's like, if my phone runs out of battery, then I'm just kind of screwed.
But Sarah says it can be nice without all the distractions that smartphones can afford. Sometimes.
I feel like I'm able to be more present, but at the same time, that doesn't really work so well if everyone around you isn't. Not having a smartphone shouldn't be that weird, and yet a lot of times people are like, what world are you living in?
Julia Elkins especially appreciated the minimal distractions of her basic phone when she transferred to Barry.
I didn't have any friends, and I didn't know anybody, and there's not really as many sources for getting to know people if you're a transfer student rather than you're a freshman. That's when my smartphone made me feel very isolated.
She didn't always live without a smartphone though.
I didn't make some conscious decision where I was like, now I'm gonna stop using my smartphone. It broke, and there was an old phone that I decided to use because I didn't want to pay for a new phone. And once I started using it, I realized that I really, really enjoyed using my old 90s phone.
For Aiden Hall, the features that come with smartphones can sometimes look pretty nice.
There are aspects of having a smartphone that I want, maybe a Google Calendar kind of app, or being able to take nice pictures and things like that. But also a lot of the things that come along with a smartphone I don't particularly care for, like the constant distractions and being able to just sit and scroll through Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat, things like that.
But he is already used to the basic phone lifestyle, and he doesn't feel the need to get one anytime soon.
In the same way that it's really convenient, I've also dealt with it. I've also not had those conveniences already for however many years, and I'm functioning just fine.
For Micah Stockwell-Goring, having an iPhone or a smartphone might be more of an inconvenience than a convenience.
I get distracted pretty easily, and so not having the capacity to have everything at my fingertips is actually kind of helpful.
And with her basic phone, Micah avoids one of the biggest problems that smartphone users have to deal with.
You don't have to charge them very often, so I charge mine once every 2 days.
Even without one of her own, smartphones still prove helpful to Micah.
It's really handy when everyone else has them, because then I can just ask them questions if I need it, but it's never been a huge issue.
That's because they really are in nearly everybody's pockets. In our high-tech culture today, Micah appreciates the simplicity that can come with her basic or dumb phone.
It's nice to not have that tie to something. I've lost my phone a lot, and I think I lose it because I'm not so I don't feel like I have to have it on me all the time. I don't get really frazzled if I misplace it. I lost it this morning, and I found it in my roommate's car.
With Viking Fusion, I'm Brad Tilka.